stop the water.
Yeah, I mean, this is all pretty normal stuff for you guys. So.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's just
I might as well go through it to make sure everybody sees them. Don't think that.
Well, we can use it for that. Don't put it past us.
And then, like I said, you just put your oil absorber in front of this. So it keeps some of the oil from getting in there. It's a lot easier when everything's falling off. But that's pretty much it. So what's nice is you got good drainage, good area, and you don't need the vacuum recovery. You use the other surface cleaner. It's going to be quicker.
You're just gonna use
You can
the
still
water.
push all that water. You know, not really. Because sometimes you clean twice as fast or 3 times faster at 8 gallon a minute. If you do the math, it ends up being less water at the end of the day. So if you got, two 4 gallon guys working 3 hours versus, 1 8 gallon doing an hour and a half. So it balances out. But definitely on chewing gum, 2 yellow tips on the end of the gun for what?
It's like a dam. Like, so if you were trying to block the drain back here, because you can't let the water into the drain, this is stopping the water from getting to the drain.
Oh, like it's going the water, separating the water from the water?
Yeah, like they don't want the water getting into the storm water. So this is stopping it. And he's saying you can drop this in, that in, and it'll slowly soak it up as it fills. And that'll filter from any grease, oil.
Full customer. Find out the address and everything. What's going on? It's corn
Once again, when you're running like chewing gum, you'll be able to run 2 guns, but you want to always be at that 4 gallons per minute tip. You'll see that there won't be a lot of variation. One could be on, one could be off. They both can be on. It's not going to be bouncing around too much. A lot of power.
Yeah, we have touch-up paint to this. Yeah.
Oh, so it extracts the water.
They're probably just as good at painting.
Oh, that's pretty
our-
neat.
What's that?
Oh, it's just that.
Each bit of our own.
The one
Don't put that on the
That's
what I do.
the waterproof is too.
Those are my Green Day guys.
Oh, Al.
Yeah.
Like I always say, you have to be good to be an enemy. We're just your annoying little brother.
All right. Oh, the other thing is on the tips.
Oh, absolutely.
When you're washing, use hot
Yeah, and you can turn the switch off.
Yeah, or you just turn
The other thing is, if you ever have to change the tips, what'll happen is, it doesn't happen normally when you're running like this, but on occasion, if you get a ball valve on the end of the gun, people are tired, they'll throw the, and it'll hit the dirt, sand will get in. So if you clog the tip, just like your tips on your wand, these you just gotta also have them lined up with the spray bar. If you come in cockeyed like this, you're gonna be cutting edges, you're gonna be down to like 100 square foot of, an hour, Just make sure the fans always come out parallel with the bar. That's about it. See what I'm saying?
This line needs to be in line with this. If it's turned this way, it's not going to do what it's supposed to do.
Because the fan, the way the fan is lined up, and then also the way the water's coming out, in order to get it spinning properly, that's where it needs to be, is actually lined up with that.
And plus, like the cutting edge of a lawnmower blade, this thing is actually smooth. If you do it like this, it'll just rotate and be one little tiny edge instead of the whole fan.
Right.
Is there a way to replace those two?
Yeah, you can unscrew both.
It's a 9/16
Okay.
or a half inch.
They're smaller than the normal.
So a half inch, they screw out, screw back in. They're what, 8 meg.
Yeah.
We sell them, but you can also get them from any pressure washing shop around here.
The only thing is this machine is 8 gallons, so it is kind of a freak. So it is like, they're big for that size.
Your biggest thing with these, though, is if you do, there's thousands of things. There's a number on the end of it, or you can call Dan. That number has to match up perfectly, because those numbers are spec'd out for that pump. And if you end up going bigger or smaller, they end up putting stress on the pump. Okay, so they all cost the same. Just make sure you get the right one.
And this unit's actually set up at like roughly 6 gallon a minute rate, because it's going to be recovering as much as you can. You can actually run the thermostat a little lower on this one, because it's set to handle 8 gallons. So if this one, even at 160, 180 will be fine. Normally 180 is your perfect temperature for gum, mold, mildew, oil, grease. Anything above that, you're just burning fuel that you don't need to waste, you know what I mean? But other than that,
Yeah, with this stuff, with the chemical stuff, you're better off wetting the surface than putting the chemical on and then running the machine, or what's the
it
application?
depends on the application. You could do it either way. You could do a test spot both ways and see which one works better.
Yeah, or would you hit it when it's dry?
Typically, I like hitting, just as a chemical person, typically I like hitting it when it's dry.
Ew.
Because then you're not hitting any salt.
So that,
Just like here, I was trying to put some greaser on some of these spots, but because there's water sitting on the surface, the greaser was sitting on top of the water, and then it just blended in.
Especially if you're trying to do
Yeah, if you are
Corbin.
if you go out to a parking lot, and you know, so there are, there's all those oil spots, you gotta hit those first.
And it's good to pre-soak them in advance. I've had guys actually pre-soak them the night before, where they would have
Where is
a
Fred?
condo or something run, they would all pre-soak when the cars are gone.
Oh, okay,
From
perfect.
8 a.m. to ready to
I'm
go,
excited
and
because
activate
the
them.
other is, I know.
You have to use this machine or something it up. You separate it out or?
It doesn't have an oil chemical separator, but because it's 8 gallon a minute already coming through there, and the heat out gets the little pop point.
Yeah, so I'm like,
It
you're coming
helps.
here.
You
I'm
may,
saying,
if
yeah,
by
don't
some
worry.
chance you have to
And
see any kind of foam, you might even add a little bit of your defoamer and that purple waste thing. hose.
So like
Just
I
to
really
control it.
don't
I haven't seen foam too often,
like
but
that.
that would be the other thing.
That big thing is just
I
using
don't know,
something
sailing with them.
that's a degree, a low foaming degreaser. Typically your
What about running chemical through the gun itself? You can't do that the way it's set up.
Well, the thing is, we
Just
got
as even like the pressure, just as a low pressure.
not right now, unless we got the downstream injector, and the thing was, we're still going with that. It's like $120. The average are like $40, so we're still making sure we're but if we do, like, if we have to connect it to the pressure railway before it and draw it, we're all confident it's going to work. There's a lot of research. The other issue is if we were to draw soap into the pressure washer, like some will suck into the pump. Problem with that is the minute I shut the gun off, whatever soap's in the pump is going to go into the tank. Now your tank is so you're never going to get any downstream if that happens. So we've got to catch both speed with a high pressure soap injection. There is a bucket rack available in that trailer. It's a 5-gallon bucket. Considering that it's powder coated, I'd have to, clean and get a special price code on that one. So if you did want to have that, we did get the downstream injector, and I kind of was hoping this came in already before I made this 13-hour trip. But we should still get, if you want to match it, you can still get that. And,
I'd be sure to go from there.
You're lucky the boss isn't here. He would have the van and everything.
the only thing,
These reels, you want to just show them the reels real quick?
yeah, that's be able
To
to
make
hold
sure
it.
they don't snap up.
Always relieve the pressure. This thing holds a lot of pressure. Don't underestimate it. I've actually been hit by that once before. Pulling the trigger thinking it's not on. You always want to straighten out your hose.
Gotta be. If you take